Welcome back to math. Today it's 4th grade, Module 1, Lesson 1. We're going to be dealing with place value. If you notice, I put ones here, tens here, hundreds here, and 1,000. So let's get started. Let's say I have one dot. What is that? Well, I hope you're saying it's 1. You're right. That's why it's in the ones place. All right, I have 5 dots here. What do I put? That's right. You guys are with it, a 5. This seems really easy. Don't worry, it's going to get hard in a second. Okay, now I have a 1 here that represents this 1 here. What if I said 10 times 1? What would 10 times 1, how would we represent that in our ones? Yeah, we need to have how many dots? Right, 10 dots. So let's go ahead and count our dots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 dots. It's like we have 10 $1 bills, right? Could I take those to the bank and cash them out for what? I can cash them out for one $10 bill, right? So when I have 10 ones in here, I can move them over and now I have 110. So I can write this as 1 times 10 is, I forgot it now. It would be 1, it'd be 10 ones, right? Is that what it would be? 10 times 1 is 10 ones, which would equal 110, right? All right, so I'd have 10 times 1 equals 10 ones, which equals 110, and we would write it out in a numerical way as 10. So we're going to have to do problems that are going to sound odd to say it this way, but we're trying to explain and this is the way we would write it in words. This is the way we would draw it out to show someone that doesn't understand it. All right, let's go on to our next problem. All right, it's 10 times 2. What do? Well, we're going to put 2 in the what column? The ones column. Okay, now we're going to multiply it by 10. So what do you think? How many dots are we going to have in each one of these columns right here? How many dots? So how many dots now? If you notice, I filled it in. How many dots do we have here? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 here, right? So how would we represent that over here? We would cash it in for 1 dot that has 10, right? How about this column of dots or discs? How would we represent that here? That's right, we would put a dot or a disc and we'd cash it out for, we would cash these out for 10. Our 20 dots, right? We have 20. We cash them out for 2 10s. It's the same thing, isn't it? How would we write it out in our word way? 10 times 2 would give us how many ones? 20 ones, which would equal what? Here we are, 2 10s. And how would we write that as our number? 20. Good job. All right, now we have 4 hundreds times 10. Are we ready for that? Okay, we have 10 times 2 10s. If you notice, we have our 2 in the tens category. This was our ones category from last time, if you remember. And this is our hundreds. We have our 2 tens. All right, this says 10 times 2 tens. How do we do 10 times 2 tens? What are we going to do with our tens here? Yes, I hope you said that we're going to put 10 dots in there. All right, so now we have 10 times 2 tens. We had our 2 tens originally here, and then we're multiplying them by 10. So how much do we have? And we're going to have to count this time by tens. So we're going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. What does that mean? We're going to put 1 dot here, huh? And that's 100, isn't it? Our 1 disk is now worth 100 because we have 100 here. What are we going to do here for this column of tens? Yes, that's right. We're going to put another dot and we're going to put 100. So we have what? We have 200 now, right? If you notice, it's kind of like we have a 2 here and a 0 here and a 0 here. Whoa, that looks like 200 to me. How about you? Yeah? Nice. So how could we write this out? 10 times 2 tens gives us how many tens? 20 tens, right. 20 tens equals how many hundreds? 200. Nice. Good job. Now, I'm going to leave this one for you for homework. You can do 400 times 10. You're going to do it the same way we've done the ones, the twos, and I think we then went to converting the ones into tens. Now we converted the tens into hundreds. Now we're going to convert the hundreds into thousands. So if I was going to give you a hint, your hundreds are going to look like this. There's going to be 4 of them, right? A lot of people don't put the hundreds in here, or the tens in there, or the ones in the other discs. But I think it's easier for you to understand this, and I hope that that's helpful for you. Remember, always pause and write it down as we go. All right, what if we had 10 times as many as 100? 10 times as many as 100. How many hundreds would that be? I hope you're saying it's 10 hundreds. If you have 10 hundreds, what is that? I'm going to put it over here on the side. Here's our 10. And then what would we do for 100? What would we do for 100? We would add what? 2 zeros, right? How many? What is that number? That's 1,000, right? So that would give us 1,000. And this would be the numeric way of writing it out. Okay, does that help you? So you don't get confused? All right, sometimes you need to write out your little note like that to help yourself. How about this one? 10 times as many as blank hundreds is 60 hundreds. How many hundreds do you think, how many dots do you think we're going to start with in the hundreds place? That's right. You said 6, right? Nice job. So that's going to give us 60 hundreds. Now we put 60, and 100 has how many zeros? Remember? How many zeros does 100 have? 2. So we add these 2 in here, and that makes it 6,000. That's the word. Okay, I'm going to let you do these by yourself. Okay? And let's take a look at Katrina. She has 60 gigabytes of storage on her tablet. Katrina's father has 10 times that much on his computer. Okay, so Katrina's got 60 and her dad has 10 times as much. Whoa. How much storage does Katrina's father have? Use numbers or words to explain how you got your answer. Katrina's got 60. Her dad has 10 times as much. I'm going to show you a little shortcut right now. Ready? 1 times 6 is 6. And how many zeros do I have? I've got 1, 2 zeros. So Katrina's dad has 600 gigabytes for his computer. That's a lot. Wow. So that's an easy way to do it, isn't it? We could draw it out in our columns as we did up here. If you feel more comfortable doing this, you could draw it out like that, okay? Or maybe you should just draw it out both ways, so you can practice both ways until your brain gets it, okay? All right, well, I love math.